Hello everybody, Julianne Docena here with Kit Magluno, reporting live from the INC Continental Unity Games where the Women's Volleyball Championship are currently underway.
So we are currently here at San Jose State University in the third set of the women's finals. The West is leading 13-11.
Yes.
So let's go take a look back into the match here where the East Coast is about to serve. 11-13, the East trails.
And if you're just now joining us, West Coast won the first two sets, so they are leading 2-0 in this match.
And the East Coast with another ace, which forces Coach Mike Salonga to call a timeout.
Yes, so that's timeout on the West Coast. And every team can actually have 2 timeouts per set.
So the West Coast uses their first timeout.
Which coast is the best
I
coast?
think he's maybe feeling a little bit of the pressure in this third set.
Yes, this is actually the closest that they're trailing up at this point of the set. So I believe that they could be feeling some pressure.
Right. So what do you think some keys? What do you think Coach Mike is saying to his team in this timeout?
You know, well, throughout the game so far, they have had excellent defense, and now the East Coast is building their momentum. So if it were me, I would be telling them to make sure that their defense stays on top of where the ball is going to be. That way they can continue their momentum the way they've been playing.
Let's hope that they stick to their game plan. They are now back live into the game again where the East trails 12-13 here in the finals. This set goes to Amanda and finds the court. Amanda Vuong with the second as well, or the tandem set where one hitter goes up and fakes and Amanda comes around kind of like a deception play to find the floor.
Yes, and earlier they were not able to execute that, and now we just witnessed them execute that. That was beautiful.
All right, so again, the East gets an opportunity to swing here. No net. And a kill by Zoe Talabong out of the East Coast, finding the floor without a block.
Yes, and actually the block was late. So Kit, can you expand a little bit on how important timing is when you're playing as a blocker against a very strong hitter?
Where you at?
Well, blocking is very key to your team's defense because it gives the opportunity to take some space off from the court in the air. If there was no block like that last kill, she basically can just have any place and have any place to put the ball and find the floor.
Right.
A little bit of a mishap there for the East Coast, and back to serve is number 15 out of the West, which I don't have the name because the roster does not have a number 15 on there. So.
We do apologize for not having that name, but it was a great serve.
East Coast.
So I believe her name is Ali Perez. Actually, on my roster sheet it says number 5. And Ali Perez with her second ace in a row, extending their lead to 17-13, getting their hopes closer to that championship medal that the West has been working towards this entire time.
Yes, and a missed serve by the West Coast.
You know, it's situations like this as the game comes down to an end and you are about to win. You know, your kind of mental aspect of the game kind of dies down and laxes up a little,
yes.
Or it becomes you're in this pressure situation. So winning is actually not that easy as what you think it may be, because if winning was easy, then everyone would win, right?
That's
Julie?
correct. Very true.
We are in transition tight
It's
set.
actually when you're closer to winning, that is actually when you should take it a little more seriously rather than being more comfortable, because when you become comfortable, that's when the other team can actually build their momentum.
And that was Melinda Alavia with another tool block, using the block,
Yes.
having no course. She actually, if the block wasn't there, that ball would have sailed out of bounds. But because the block was there, came off the block.
Yes.
Making a substitution, coming in for the West is Sheila Wilson. In for Estrada, the middle, coming in for the middle, and back to serve is Ali Dabu. A huge swing by Elsie Valencia. I think she has the arm of a cannon over there in the East Coast.
Yes. So far, I believe she has the highest hitting stats of this game for the East Coast.
Absolutely. And a missed serve opportunity, giving the lead, extending the lead to the West, 19-15 here in this third set. Now Jackie Salonga goes back to serve, giving the West 3 options. A low pass, a nice set, goes to the outside, dug up,
beautiful
and
pass.
goes to the outside to Amanda and finds the floor past the blockers on that play. So again, 5 points away for the West Coast until they claim their victory.
Yes, and you know, that was a very beautiful pass by number 15, Ali Perez. And how important is it for the momentum of the team to have a beautiful pass just like that one?
You know, I always say a good pass always leads to a good set and always leads to a good attack. So again, the higher the probability you're a good pass, then the higher probability of you getting the ball on the floor.
Yes.
Now Melinda was actually in the net. The set was actually a little too tight there.
It was a little too tight. And when you're running quicker hits like that, you do have to have a little bit of space to make sure that the hitters don't end up hitting the net just like they did in this case.
Right, hopefully that error does not phase the West Coast as Elsie Valencia, the East Coast best hitter, goes in the back row. Dug up, and a free ball opportunity for the West going to Amanda.
And it is kept
Set to the
alive.
outside. Oh, a tool block almost. Melinda sets it in the air. It's a little tight set. Fine, and Amanda Vuong showing the power that she has,
Yes.
getting that ball through the block and over the net.
And even with a tight set, she was able to execute that hit.
Absolutely. It was such an athletic play by Amanda Vuong out of the West Coast. 21-17. Here we are in the finals here at San Jose State University Activity Center. And another ace by Melinda Alavia. 3 points away. The East Coast still struggling to find some momentum, getting some hope here, but we are not giving up here just yet.
Very true. So we're waiting. Beautiful serve by Melinda Olivia.
Again, dug up by the West.
And a kill by number 15, Ali Perez. I believe that is her first kill of this game.
Yeah, coming in as a sub. Now the West Coast is doing some subs here. Subbing in is number 12, Kat Rayola for Amanda Vuong. 23-17 here in this final set of the finals of the Continental Unity Games, and just a little long by Melinda,
Yes.
which gives the East Coast another opportunity.
Yes.
East trails 18-23 here in this finals. And back to serve.
Jump serve. And
A roll shot over. Ball kept alive, goes to the outside, and just long by Zoe Talabong. Can't find the floor. Now the West Coast has match point.
Yes.
Match
The energy is going wild in this gym right now.
Absolutely. You could definitely feel the energy from not just the West Coast fans, but for the unity of the event.
Yes, very true. And that was an overpass by the East Coast.
Kept alive by the East. Set outside. Zoe Talabong kept alive. Goes to the middle. Ali Dabu with the swing. Kept alive. Again, sets going back outside. And again, they just can't find the floor. Hey, Kate, dig.
That is a very good
And a
dug
dub.
dig at this time.
Again, longest rally so far of the match. Again, ball kept alive.
Yes.
Another opportunity for the West. Ball goes to the middle. Kept alive by the East. Set goes to the outside. Tool the block. Go. Again, we can't find the floor. Tip. 1, 2, 3 contacts over. Again, you have 3 contacts in the sport of volleyball.
This is a
Down
very
ball
important
opportunity.
rally.
goes to the outside again to Zoe, and Kent still cannot find the floor. The East Coast showing a lot of heart, but the kill was put away by Allison Dabu, with the West Coast winning the women's final here at the Unity game.
Yes, so the West Coast just won the gold medals here at the Women's Volleyball Championship. The East Coast did actually get the silver, so it is still a great game for both teams.
Fun fact, Zoe Talabong from the East Coast team.
Yes, we actually just received some information. Zoe Taliban plays for the High Performance U.S. national team, and she did really well in this game. She did represent very well.
Yeah, so the High Performance is actually the pipeline for junior players to get onto the U.S. national team. So there's a way in order for you to play at the Olympic level, right?
Yes, and actually High Performance is not a local team, it is a national team, so they do have very intensive tryouts, so to be on that team already says something about you as an athlete and your skills, so that is an amazing thing to know that someone from that team is playing here today.
Absolutely, but as you can tell, volleyball is a team sport. And you can't just win with one person on the floor. So yeah, again, great job by the West Coast. Again, keeping that ball alive. I thought that the effort was just amazing by all players from the West Coast.
Absolutely. Both teams played very well, but you know, as they say, defense wins ball sometimes, and in this case, West Coast had a little bit of a better defense. They were able to pick up so many hits, left and right, tips, dumps, everything. They were able to pull it off and be successful in this championship game.
Absolutely. So up next, we are now going over the awarding ceremony.
Yes.
And up next is going to be the men's volleyball finals, which will feature the West Coast team versus our friends from up north, Canada 1.
Yes. So actually, both West Coast teams, men's and women's, ended up in the championship. That's amazing.
That shows the prominence of the sport of volleyball here on the West Coast region of the United States of America.
Absolutely. Well, everybody stay tuned for more updates from the Volleyball Championships here at the San Jose State University for the IMC Continental Unity Games. We'll see you in a bit.